I don't know if you heard that little voice from GoToWebinar that says you're in. Does everyone hear that little voice that says you're in listen only mode? Is that a
Yes, you are. Except for us, we're in
yeah?
talk mode.
Okay, so as we gather everyone for our webinar today, you are in listen only mode, which means you are muted. We are going to have some fun interactive polls and things that you can do to keep your attention, to keep you guys locked into what we're teaching. We're grateful that you're with us today. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Happy to be
Very
here.
great, very good. And usually Steve's in Texas. We're just right down the hallway from each other.
I
So
am. I'm in Salt Lake City today in the Crown Council office, and looking forward to today. So, speaking of interaction, if everybody wants to open their chat area in your control panel, I have launched a question for starters that you can respond to in the chat area, which is, what word best describes your feelings about dealing with cancellations and no-shows? This is your therapy session to get started
Mhm.
today. So you're welcome to reply to that chat. Let's see, Lindsay, why don't you reply to it there? Okay, enthusiasm. Thanks, Stu. Lindsay, you get to reply. Everybody else gets to play along. So as you're signing on, uh,
Yes.
hop onto the chat area. You get to respond to the what word best describes your feelings about dealing with cancellations and no-shows. You get to share with the group.
Lindsay.
Yes.
I
So
did a I did a webinar last night for the high school mountain bike team, and they did something like this, and it did not go well. It really derailed fast. It was
I
bad.
bet. And you didn't have an edit button either.
Yeah.
So
Hey, so today's webinar is being recorded, so you can share it with your team when we finish. If you're the only one on your team who is watching, we'll get the recording out to everybody, and that includes those who are not here with us. I don't know why we make that announcement, but just in case you're joining for just a minute, we will have everything prepared by this afternoon to send both the recording and the CE quiz. It's not really a quiz. You just have to prove that you were here and submit for the CE, 1 hour of CE. That'll all go out this afternoon. And then tomorrow we'll include the webinar as a recording on the Crown Council membership website. So it'll go into our library along with hundreds of other webinars that we've done over the years. So you can watch them and rewatch them together as a team. But give me a day. We'll get it up and it'll be ready for you. And we'll send the email will go out from GoToWebinar. It won't come from me. So you'll see GoToWebinar as a opportunity to rewatch and then do the CE. So
love it.
Very good. All right, cool.
Everybody's favorite topic today, cancellations. So
Yes.
this is going to be interactive. There's going to be some interactive polls coming up. I would also recommend that you keep your phone handy if you're watching on your desktop. Oh, it looks like we did, let's see, in the question area. Unable to respond to the chat. I wonder, is there a reason?
Not sure how to type in chat. Frustration. Us too. Okay.
Maybe you can go to work on that. Maybe we'll have to use the question area. Let's do the question area if that works.
Yeah, you can. How about you submit in the question area the word?
Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. Frustration. All right, let's use the question area. As we go along, you're welcome to put questions in the question area, and then we'll deal with those either as we go along or at the end.
I'll watch that.
Perfect. So for those of you that are with us for the first time, let me just give you a quick backstory. I'm Steve Anderson, the founder of Total Patient Service and co-founder of the Crown Council. And my co-pilot today is Lindsay Newhouse. Lindsay is a coach at Total Patient Service, TOPS Institute for short. So Lindsay is a registered dental hygienist as well. So decades of experience in practice as well as coaching teams. So Lindsay and I are going to share what we know now about how to build and maintain a productive, profitable schedule and try and keep everything pulled together all day long. And as Stuart mentioned, this webinar is sponsored by the Crown Council, which is our community of practices across the world that are committed to creating a culture of success in their practice. And Crown Council also provides the continuing education for today. So thank you, Stu. Thanks for all your help today. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my amazing screen because I got a lot to share today.
We see it.
We see the whole thing?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. First off, I'm going to take the liberty to share one of my favorite things because the season is upon us. Part of our efforts collectively, and a part of our doing good efforts through our charitable organizations is this program, which is for high school and college students. It's called Eagle University, Eagle U for short. It is a week-long program for high school and college students to help them get a 7-year head start on their career. It is an amazing experience. And Lindsay actually went through this program back in the day. Lindsay, let's see, you were how old when you went through Eagle U?
I think it was between my junior and senior year, so it'd have been 17 years old, maybe
Yes,
18.
like 2 years ago.
19. Yeah, yeah, we'll go with that.
So anyway, so if you have a high school or college age student in your life that you would like to just give an amazing experience, you are welcome to scan this QR code. This summer's program is coming up in 2 months. We do this just outside of Kansas City, geographical center of the country. We take over the campus at Baker University, which is one of the oldest universities in the country, and it's an amazing experience. Stu went through it. Stu, you went through it, I think, the first time when you were like 12, right?
I got to go to Pepperdine. That's where we
Yeah,
were. I don't want to let the kids know now that we used to be able to go to Pepperdine University, but
Pepperdine University
it was
was pretty
very
amazing.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just a quick. Again, this is a nonprofit charitable effort that we've done for many, many years, and one of my favorite things. So invite you to share that with if you have a young person in your life. High school or college age is the age range. 15 to 25-ish is usually our range. So thanks for letting me share that. As I mentioned before, Total Patient Service is our coaching education brand. We specialize in one word, which is the word yes. Hearing yes more often from your patients. Hearing yes to the appointment, to the treatment plan, to the next scheduled appointment, to financial arrangements, anywhere where you need to hear a yes, that is what we do. And Lindsay is the yes coach. So Lindsay's going to share with us today some of her genius in scheduling and maintaining a predictable schedule. And as I mentioned, the Crown Council is our culture, or excuse me, our community of practices that's grown over the years that subscribe to our philosophy of creating a culture of success in your practice. So with that, I already asked you this question: what word best describes your feeling when it comes to dealing with cancellations? A lot of frustration out there, and our hope is that we'll alleviate some of that frustration with some very, very tactical things that will. So if you are responsible for the schedule, have you ever faced a schedule that looked like this? I don't think I need to explain this. The train wreck of a schedule. It is becoming increasingly challenging to build and maintain a productive schedule, just with all of the things we have to do today to keep people on track. And so we're going to talk about really two aspects of your schedule. One is, what do you do to prevent cancellations in the first place? And then what do you do in the heat of the moment when patients try to cancel? So there will be a lot of resources here. We're going to go over a lot of verbal skills. And at the very end, I'll give you a resource you can download that'll give you a good summary of what we've talked about today, so that you can implement what we're going to discuss. All right, Stu, you get to launch the first poll.
Yes.
So you get this is your opportunity to interact. So the first poll is going to ask you, which profession has no problem with cancellation?
Can you see it? Did I do it?
And your choices are I think so, yeah, the proctologist, the hair salon stylist, the dog groomer, or the mortician. You get to choose one of those four, which has no problem with cancellations. All right, so give you a minute to respond to that. Everybody gets to play. Sue, I'll let you track participation and engagement here.
All right, that's about it. I'll end and share results. Everybody looks like they're done.
Excellent. Okay, let's share the results. And Stu, you can share the results. I can't see them on my screen, so.
Okay, okay. If I close the poll, do I say it? Sorry, I'm new at
Yeah, you
this.
close the poll and then just share the results.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm new at these polls.
It's all good. You're doing good.
No, I'm not. Okay. Can you guys see it or should I tell you what it says?
I can see it.
Okay, okay. So we have 0% at proctologist. Very good, smart group. 31% voted hair salon stylist,
Okay.
6% at dog groomer, and 63% at mortician.
Yeah, I think the mortician would be true. Now, take mortician off the table for a minute. I think we would all agree the hair salon stylist is probably wins the day, right? In fact, Lindsay, maybe you can share some of your genius. What happens if you cancel or no show on your hairstylist?
Usually you have a fee attached to that, and it takes really long time to get back in. So
Yes.
you have to deal with your hair looking terrible for a really long time.
Yeah, they make you pay not so
Uh-huh.
much in cancellation fee, but in pain and suffering.
That's right. Yep.
So I realize that there's, you know, dentistry has a different context than your hair salon stylist, and there's a lot of things we can learn
Hmm.
for from how to do it right. So here's a couple of rules up front. Patients don't come trained. We can't expect people to do it the way we want to do it, unless we're gonna walk through how do you train your patients to respect your schedule in a nice way, in a professional, firm but friendly way. And then this one is we teach people how to treat us by how we treat them and how we set things up, how you set up the system. So I would recommend pay very close attention to all the pieces of what we're going to share because it trains your patients. All right, Lindsay, who is at the most risk today for canceling or no showing on their dental appointment? Which patients?
Really all of them. uh, really all of them to a degree, but definitely new patients, hygiene patients, emergency patients, Monday morning patients,
Yep.
financial flu patients,
That's a
patients that had a lot of fun
financial,
over the weekend. Yeah.
yes. Financial flu patients are the patients that wake up on the morning of their appointment and they realize
Hmm.
that they have a big balance due. It's
Yep.
like, ooh,
Hmm.
I'm sick.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
and pretty much
Yes.
every patient on your schedule is at risk.
Hmm.
What do we do? So we're going to talk about prevention and first aid. So what do you do to prevent everything you do to prevent cancellations, and then first aid, which is what do you do after in the heat of the battle when somebody calls to cancel? What do you do? All right, prevention. This is a team effort. So this is not just plays a part in this whole equation. You'll be glad to know. So we're going to give some assignments today on everybody's responsibility to build and maintain a productive schedule. All right. So here's a quick reminder. Patients are going to place about as much importance on their appointment as you do. And conversely, they're rarely will they place more importance on it than you do. So no big deal to you, no big deal to them, right? So we're going to place some additional importance on this appointment time and train patients about the importance of this, because when you think about it, that regular appointment, Lindsay, especially with you as the hygienist, has become one of the most important activities in which everyone can engage. The
Hmm.
one of the most important health maintenance activities. Do your patients know that? Lindsay, why is it one of the most important health maintenance activities patients can engage in?
Because of the risk of periodontal disease, it's the highest risk to the rest of your body. It's the um, chronic inflammation in your mouth. You can be really sick in other places, and it all starts right here in your mouth, in your saliva. And it's just as important as all of your other medical visits, if not more important. So,
Exactly. So
and we're the ones to
Lin-
update you on that.
amen to that. So one of the things Lindsay does at Tops is she leads our No More Hygiene course, which is the the latest science in the true nature of periodontal disease and how to treat it. So yeah, and this is one of the things is it's that hygiene appointment is one of the most important things people can do to maintain and build good health. So do they know that? To what degree have you had that conversation with your patients? Challenge score on how well you're maintaining the schedule when you save appointments. Have some fun with this, with what we're about to talk about. Okay, launch the next poll. And the next poll asks one of the best cancellation prevention techniques for new patients. We're going to talk first about new patients. So here are your choices. So you going to launch it. to prevent new patients from canceling, charge a fee, double book, doctor welcome call, or text, email, and call incessantly. Which one do you think is the best prevention technique?
Okay, coming in. I turned my video off just to improve our little streaming here, but we've got
Okay.
50% have voted. Come on, everybody. All right, very good. All right. Okay, end and share results. Here comes. Okay, poll ended. So charge a fee for canceling, 21%. Double book, we had 4% of you. Doctor welcome call, 75%. And text, email, and call repeatedly, 0%.
Okay. So here's the first reminder. The doctor calls all new patients. That is one of the most important things for new patients is to have the doctor call. This is not a reminder call. It's not a confirmation call. It's a welcome call. So, for example, here's the system. You're going to print out tomorrow's schedule. You're going to highlight the new patients on the schedule. You're going to hand that to the doctor in the morning meeting. And then the doctor reports the next morning in your morning meeting. So that's the process so that it's in the system. And if I were the doctor, let's say Lindsay and you're the patient, let's say you're my new patient, you would get a message from me. So I just call you sometime when I got a minute during the day, and I would say, Lindsay, this is Dr. Anderson. I'm looking forward to meeting you during your appointment tomorrow, your first appointment at our office tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And we'll have everything set up and ready to go for you. And if there are additional things that we should know before you come in that would make your visit more comfortable, please give us a call. Here's our office number. Otherwise, we look forward to meeting you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We'll see you then. That's it. It's a welcome call. Now, Lindsay, if you were the new patient, what would your impression be? You received
Uh,
that message. What would you say to yourself?
very impressed. I definitely know I'm going to be valued there. And then also, the doctor knows how to get a hold of me.
Right? The doctor knows where you
He
live.
he knows my
So,
phone number and a lot of other information. I'm going to show
so,
up.
so it's important that the doctor do this as a welcome call. And there's a lot of ways to do this today, uh, including, let me walk you down the list of all the different ways you can communicate this. And you can, so one, just call them, leave a voice message. Two, you can send a voice text.
Mhm.
So you can actually send a voice message via text because most people respond to text messages or they listen to their text messages or read their text messages more than maybe they listen to their voicemail. There's also some really cool video programs like Loom or
Mhm.
BombBomb where you can personalize a video and text it or email it to them. So a lot of different ways to do this today, but the point is personal touch before they come in the first time so that the new patient knows they're important, they're on the radar, the doctor even knows they're coming in, they're planning ahead. It's like, you're important to us. And
Mhm.
that has a significant, we've measured this over and over, practices all over the country, makes a huge difference on the show rate. So that would be the challenge. And I'm delighted to see that most of you replied that way. My question to you, if you said, Doctor, welcome call, to what degree is your doctor actually doing it on a daily basis? So that would be your challenge. That's action item number 1. Okay, doctor assignment number 2. Now, usually all the appointment coordinators that watch or participate in this webinar love this because I'm assigning all these duties to everyone else on the team, right? This is a team effort, not just an appointment coordinator. So we said when we started that patients rarely place more importance on their appointment than you do, right? So who better to place importance on that appointment than the doctor? So especially if it's a newer patient and they're scheduling restorative treatment or they're scheduling, their second visit in the office, then the doctor chairside conversation would go something like this. And just as a quick reminder, at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you access to a download that'll have a lot of this information just as a summary. So doctor conversation. So Lindsay, if you were the patient then and you were scheduling, let's say we're going to do 3 crown preps, or you're going to come back for your next appointment to do restorative work, then I would say, so Lindsay, we want to do everything we can to help you get the outcome that you want, and we're committed to helping you move through this treatment in a timely and comfortable way. So in order to do that, okay, now these are 4 of my favorite words. You ready? In order to do that, Lindsay, I need your help. Okay. So let me pause right there. Those are 4 of the most powerful words I know because most people cannot resist the request for help. So when I say, Lindsay, could you help me? Like, what's almost your automatic response?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear a yes. Yes before yes. So, Lindsay, in order to do that, I need your help. Could you help us?
Yes, I can.
So in order to help you get everything you want, we need to make sure that your appointments are set at times when you have the least likelihood of any type of a delay or interruption in your schedule so that nothing stands in the way of doing what we talked about today. Does that make sense?
It does.
There you go. All right, so second response. Then I'm going to say, so if you'll work with Stuart, our appointment coordinator, we'll both be committed to the schedule that the 2 of you put together to make sure everything happens as planned. Fair enough?
Yes, fair enough.
That's the doctor's responsibility to place verbal importance on that appointment time, right? Your time is, I know your time is very valuable, Lindsay. You're valuable to us. We want to make sure and put a schedule together here that will move things through in a timely basis so you get what you want when you want it without any kind of a delay in the schedule. So if you work with the team, we'll make sure to put a schedule together that works for you so we can all stay committed to what we agree to. Just a simple conversation. So what this does is when you include the doctor in the conversation, now scheduling is not just a front office deal. This is a team commitment. Everybody's involved. When the doctor talks about it and say, yeah, these appointments are important and you're important to us and we want to make sure, then the message, you talk about training people how to treat you, you're now saying this is a whole team effort. I'm involved in it as the doctor, you're involved in it, and we're all going to work together to keep this on track. That never happens in medicine, rarely. Doesn't happen a lot of times in dentistry. And so patients kind of compartmentalize it, but when you include the doctor in the conversation, it raises the level of importance to a whole new level. Okay, so that's first 2 actions: doctor welcome call, doctor chairside conversation. Okay, those are your first 2 actions. Now, Lindsay, can we go to hygiene for a minute?
We sure can.
Because 80% of the patient visits in the typical dental office are where? Restorative or hygiene?
Hygiene.
Hygiene, right? We have a lot
Yep.
more traffic in hygiene, which means a lot more opportunity for cancellations and no-shows. So hygiene is really a big issue. So let's talk about hygiene and the hygienist responsibility. All right, so Lindsay, you can speak well to this because you've been doing this for years. Can I be the patient on this?
You sure can.
All right, so I'm an existing patient, and you're now going to schedule my next visit. And in the total patient service playbook,
Hmm.
scheduling chairside is the best place to schedule, right? So commitment
It
to the hygiene.
is.
So every possibility you have to schedule chairside is going to work better.
Hmm.
So, Lindsay, if you're going to place importance on that next visit so that you get me out of the mentality of it's just a cleaning, right? Because that's a lot
Yes.
of people have that mentality.
Yep.
Just a cleaning.
Yes.
What would you say to me to impress upon me the importance of that next visit when we're scheduling it?
So it's going to be very customized to what is going on with you. And so
Mhm.
if everything's looking great, I'm going to link it back to your primary interest, your M&M, what's most important to you. So Steve, I just want to congratulate you on how far you've come since we started working together 2 years ago. And you shared with us, you don't want any surprises. You want to
That's
keep your
right.
teeth and you want to make sure that you are doing everything you can at home. And so I'm proud of you. I'm excited that we've partnered together to get you where you want to be. And so the best way that you can continue to stay on track, your best insurance policy, doing your home care, and without fail, keeping track, staying on track with these appointments that you and I have scheduled every 3 months.
Okay, so
So,
that's so Lindsay now has tied it back to what I want, what's important to
mhm.
me, and then impressed upon me the importance of, okay, here's how we're going to stay on track. That you stay on track, then we'll be able to keep you on track. Now,
Yep.
here's the next piece, and I'll explain this because this again goes back to no big deal to you, no big deal to them, impressing upon everybody the importance of it. So when you
Mhm.
follow it up by saying, so I want you to know that when we have an appointment scheduled together, that time's reserved for you on our schedule. We work hard to protect that. And if you would, and this is, if I could make a suggestion, but here's, if you'll do for yourself what we're doing for you here in the office, which is what? Well, putting it on your calendar. Now,
Mhm.
this next piece is a little piece of powerful psychology. It's called priming. So then Lindsay, you would say to me, so Steve, do for yourself what we're doing for you here. We're putting this on the schedule. You do that on your schedule. That way, if a potential conflict comes up, you can tell them that you have a prior commitment. And that prior commitment is to yourself, your health, and your long-term well-being.
Mhm.
Now,
Like,
here's the power of this is I'm priming them by saying something else comes up, you know, in contrast to everybody else where they go, we'll go ahead and schedule this today. And if something else comes up, just
mhm.
let us know in
Yeah.
advance. And we'll,
Yep. Mhm.
oh, this is the exact opposite of that, which is,
Mhm.
so see, we're going to go ahead and schedule this. Do for yourself at home. We're doing here the most important health maintenance activity you can engage. That way, with that commitment, if anything comes up that might conflict with this, you can tell them you got a commitment. And that commitment is to you, your health, and your long term well being. That's different.
Mhm.
That's different than everything that everybody else is saying in dentistry. So
Yes.
we put more importance on it, they'll put more importance on it. If it's no big deal to us, no big deal to them.
Yes. And can I
Lindsay,
can I
what?
make a comment here? So it goes back to what they said they wanted to, because people want to be consistent with who they say they are. So if you take it back to what's most important to them, what they said they wanted when they first started, or what they said they wanted last time, like you said, you wanted Steve, you don't want any surprises, you don't want anything to come up, then that makes them, it's an internal conflict if they don't do what they said out loud that they wanted to do. And when I'm coaching teams, I will often hear, would you like to go ahead and set up your next appointment? That's, not the
Wrong
ideal way to
question.
do it. Wrong
That's the
question. And I talk to hygienists all the time, and when you don't know better, you don't know better, right? So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It is, there is a better way. And I used to tease and say, I wonder what a patient would do if I wasn't here when they showed up for their appointment.
thing. Be
Like
ticked.
I said, you know what? Lindsay's not here today, right? So, but that's how we train them. And hygienists, I hear it all the time. They'll say, all right, Steve, so let's get you scheduled for your next appointment. When you come in next time, it's just your cleaning. And in their
Just.
mind, they're saying just, and they're coming from, it's like, well, we don't have to do your exam, we don't have to do your x-rays, it's just your cleaning. And you guys think about how limiting that is. So if I have lunch with a friend or a shopping date, I'm like, well, she said it was just my cleaning, no big deal. Or if you say, if you can't make it, just let us know, we'll reschedule. I'm like, well, she said she would
You
reschedule me.
train
So
them. That's
you're
training.
training them to do it. So and then if everybody's doing that, you can see why it's a constant issue. So it's not always a quick fix. It's like you got to go back to the scheduling of the appointments, build the value there, so that then it becomes down the line where they think that. But just what he said, if it's not important to us, or if we downplay the importance, not even intentionally, it's not going to be important to them. So it's a huge, huge issue in practices. It is happening, it's invaded. It's happening. It's a disease.
And we've created a lot of the
Mhm.
problem by the way we
Yep.
communicate. So this is a whole team conversation to totally shift how we communicate with patients, the importance we place on the appointment times, and how we talk about that is critically
Yes.
important.
And I got
Okay.
to say one more thing on hygienists really quick. We have a tendency to put the gas pedal down at the end of appointments. It's like we go from 0 to 60 and like, get him out the door, hurry, hurry. And this is just as an important part of the appointment, like wrapping it up. I mean, we just, when we see them, we're just kind of, okay, how's your day? Blah, blah, blah. And we're going slowly. And then it's like urgent, get him out because our next patient's here, got to write our notes, got to clean our room. So you got to take the time to knee to knee, eye to eye, have this conversation about wrapping up, scheduling the next appointment, the importance of it. That makes a big difference. Not standing
That's
behind them on a computer screen, really rushed, slow it down. So,
you're setting the table for the next appointment.
yep.
Okay. All right. Quick word about relationship links. So, in the event that you're in an environment where there's an appointment coordinator involved with scheduling the next appointment, you got to make sure everything is linked up with the appointment coordinator. So it's not just, hey, Steve's ready to schedule, see you later, but we link it up. So if I were your hygiene patient, Lindsay,
Hmm.
and you were going to connect me with the appointment coordinator, give us
Hmm.
an idea of what that would sound like.
Yeah. So if Stuart was the coordinator, I would say, Steve and I have had a great visit today. We did his hygiene visit, which included his exam and his x-rays, and we have already scheduled his next hygiene appointment because it is very important for Steve to stay on track. He would like an update from me. What's his home care looking like? He likes the gum measurements every time. He likes his scorecard, so he knows the best way for us to do that. Pre-schedule, keep those scheduled appointments already on his calendar in case anything else comes up. He can let him know he's already got a commitment. What I need your help with, Stuart, is scheduling two teeth on the upper right. When Dr. Anderson came in today, we talked about the two teeth that are cracked, and he is getting cavities around those old fillings. And so Steve does not like to let things linger. He wants to take care of it right away. And if you can find priority time in the doctor's schedule as soon as possible, he'd like to get that taken care of. And then he knows you'll go over the details with him as far as the fee associated with that. Steve, did I leave anything off?
That was very thorough, Lindsay. Thank you.
Fantastic. So Stuart will take it from here and take great care of you.
So, again, team effort, all the information's linked up. That's a lot different than, hey, Stuart, Steve's ready to schedule. See you later. Big, big
Mhm.
difference. Link all the
Schedule
critical.
what?
Exactly. Importance of the appointment, importance of the
Mhm.
treatment, everything is included. So, this is usually the first thing to fall out of bed, first thing to come unraveled when we get
Mhm.
busy. And then we pay the price in cancellations and no shows because we didn't place the importance on the treatment. So remember the relationship link and include that with every patient. Okay, we're still on prevention. We're going to talk about scheduling hacks. I'm going to run through these real quick. So these are things you can do to make sure that you schedule properly and you schedule it properly up front. Again, prevention is the key. Hack number one, manage your schedule so it doesn't manage you. How do you do that? It's by the questions that you ask. Lindsay, you already addressed this. You never ask a patient, Steve, do you want to schedule your next appointment? Or how about this one, Lindsay, if you were the patient? Lindsay, when would you like to come back?
Yeah. Friday afternoon at 5.
We're not open Friday. No, we're not
Okay.
open.
Monday at
No,
6.
yeah, that's too early.
Saturday morning.
Right? Never
Yes.
ask, do you want to schedule? Never ask, when would you like to come
When?
back? Right? Give them a choice. So I would say, Lindsay, which day of the week, Monday through Thursday, do you have the most control over, where you have the least likelihood of any type of an interruption in your schedule? Right? Again, this is training. I'm just one sentence and I've sent the message, right? We're going to schedule this so you can keep the commitment, not
Mhm.
change anytime you want. So which day of the week? Or I might say, Lindsay, do Mondays or Wednesdays work better for you?
Mhm.
Morning or afternoon? I'm going to give you a choice of what's available. So how we present it. So I'm going to guide the patient towards what's available to make that appointment. Okay, here's another quick secret. If you're using appointment cards, hand the card to the patient. Do not fill it out for them. They are not a kindergartner. They don't need you to do the work for them. There's some
Mhm.
interesting science that shows that when things are in our own handwriting, we tend to take them more seriously. So hand them the appointment card as you're exploring options. Say, hey, here's the appointment card. Here's the pen. Let's look at the options. And then you guide them so they're writing it down themselves on the appointment card. Okay. These are
Mhm.
all little ingredients that end up being a big part of the system. Now, verbiage on your appointment card. Most appointment cards I've seen have cancellation invitations on them.
Mhm.
And that cancellation invitation says something like, cancel within 24 hours and we're going to charge you $50 or whatever. Or it has something along those lines that basically what it says, the flip of what it says is, as long as you call us 24 hours in advance, you're good to go. Mix and match as you
Mhm.
please, come and go, reschedule, whatever. Instead, what if this were the verbiage? If it said, please mark this important appointment on your calendar today. We look forward to seeing you at this time that's been reserved especially for you. Now, one of the most common questions we get is, should we charge a fee for canceling? So let me just share with you the data. If you do that, there's two hazards with it. Number one, the data says that a cancellation fee can, in some cases, actually increase
Mhm.
cancellations. It has the opposite effect. So if your cancellation fee is like $50 and you got an important meeting or you doing whatever, it's like, that's a bargain.
Worth it.
$50.
Yeah.
Not in
It's
jail.
worth it.
Right? So
Yep.
it can have the opposite effect. Number two is, are you going to enforce it?
Mhm.
Because if you enforce it, you're generating a lot of ill will,
Mhm.
right? So if I'm a good, loyal patient, Lindsay, and I've been coming to you forever, and
Mhm.
then you're going to slap me with a fee because I had something come up that was important, then emotionally
Not
doesn't feel.
good.
So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do in this area. I would recommend that you revisit what you're doing and why you're doing it and what you expect the result to be. What's the net effect on the customer, on the patient, in your relationship with them? Do
Mhm.
you have it set up right, or is this, you just got so angry and upset one day because somebody no showed that you said we're going to charge them if they don't show up. We're going to get them.
Mhm.
So what do you want the total impact to be? Okay,
Yeah. And if you have all these things in place, then cancellation fee shouldn't even have to be a should we do it or should we not?
correct. All right, then the next question, Lindsay, if you were the patient, I would say, Lindsay, which method of communication do you prefer? Uh,
Mhm.
phone, text, or email? Which do you pay most attention to?
Definitely text.
Perfect. Okay, so periodically, Lindsay, between visits, use some messages to stay in communication. Will that work for you? We're not going to
Absolutely.
bombard you,
Good.
but just to stay in touch. Now, you'll notice I didn't say we're going to send you a reminder, we're going to send you, confirmation, because if you say that, then basically what you've just communicated is the commitment that you just made to that scheduled appointment isn't a commitment. It's like, because if
Mm-mm.
if I tell Lindsay Lindsay, we'll send you a confirmation message, or we'll send you a reminder.
Reminders.
It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm off the hook. I don't need to worry about this. It's all on you.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
So I'm just let them choose their channel of communication. Don't text and email and call. That's what my pest control company does. It drives me crazy. It's like, enough already. They just say, is it all right, Lindsay, if we periodically stay in touch? We won't bombard you, but if that's your preferred way of communicating, that's how we'll communicate with you between visits.
Perfect.
Here's an example of a text message. So it would say, Steve, your appointment's at 9:30 a.m. on Monday, June 1st. We're looking forward to seeing you then. Reply Y for yes. You notice it doesn't say reply C for confirm. So here's the data around this. The data says that when you use the patient's first name in a text message, it will reduce cancellations by 57% by using their first names. Last name apparently does not matter, but first name, it has an impact on the attention. And then if you don't use their name, then it's impersonal. But if you use my name, I pay more attention to it. And if you're also doing text to pay, the data says that you'll have a 57% increase in collections if you send a text to pay notice to say, hey, Lindsay, you have a balance due of $50. Click here to take care of your balance. If you use their first name, you'll have a lot better response to text to pay. So little data based on the latest research. Use their first name. Sweetest sound in any language.
Yep.
Okay, hack number 2, plan ahead. So this is kind of a fun idea, and it's not necessarily systematic. It's what we call excitement calls. If there is when there is available time, instead of sitting around or doing whatever, hygienists can make what we call excitement calls. Send text messages, shoot messages to your patients, say, hey, Steve, looking forward to seeing you in 2 months. It's coming down. And when you come in, I've got something very exciting that I'm going to share with you. I'm looking forward to sharing with you about your health and some new things that we're learning. So all it is just stay in the loop. Let them know that you're thinking about them. And it also means you have to stay up to date on new stuff that's coming out. Like, Lindsay, one of the most recent ones that you and I looked at was a new scientific study that connects a specific periopathogen bacteria to
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer.
Yep.
So there is one type of bacteria that has been found to be linked to breast cancer that shows up in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your patients know that? So always staying on top of things like this so you have new things to share with your patients, keep them in the loop. Hack number 3, the unexpected will always happen. So expect it, right? It should not be a shock that there's going to be challenges holding the schedule together. So this is not a new idea. It's just a reminder who's on your ASAP list. So who's on your short call list to always keep this maintained and up to date. So these would be previous cancellations and no-shows, maybe patients that have had delayed treatment, overdue hygiene, unscheduled treatment. Just always keep that ASAP list so you can connect with them on short notice to fill some of those last minute openings in your practice. So again, not a new idea and critically important to the whole scheduling criteria. And this is one of the best ways to fill those appointments, to say, patient's first name, Chris, we have an appointment time available tomorrow at 9 a.m. Would this work for you? You'll notice I didn't say, Chris, we just had a cancellation for tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Would you like to come in and fill it? That's not what I said.
No.
Okay. It's like, we have an appointment time available. Can you make
Mm-hmm.
it? Right. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes texting those ASAP patients, it's one of the best ways to get to get a response. Hack number 4, block in advance. Block scheduling, that you block out the times in advance for patients, for perio treatment, for the different types of restorative treatment. You block in advance, and you give your patients a choice between your blocks. So if I blocked out a time, new patient appointments, Lindsay, if you were the potential new patient, then I would look at my schedule and say, Lindsay, would Monday or Wednesday work better for you? and you say Wednesday, say, great, would 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. work better? And what I'm doing is I'm giving you a choice of what I've already pre-blocked for new patient appointments. Give you a choice. And then you don't violate the blocks unless it's within 24 hours. Because this is where schedules come unraveled, is if we start violating the blocks and then we look up and all of a sudden we don't have a productive schedule because we didn't schedule it based on the template, right? Just a reminder, but we call it the 24-hour rule. You don't violate the blocks unless it's within 24 hours. All right, Stuart, you ready for the next poll?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, next poll is, which words should you never use verbally or in writing? All right, so the choices are confirm, remind, cancel, or all of the above. Everybody gets to vote. This one's an easy one, just making sure you're paying attention.
Smart group here. All right, about 40% have voted. Come on, get them in, get your votes in. Okay. All right, voting slowed. Confirm at 0%, remind 8%, cancel 19%, and all of the above, never say any of them, all of the above, 73%.
Correct. So never use any of those words. We're never going to say confirm. We're never going to say remind. We're never going to say cancel. If you're confirming something, you're implying it was never firm. If I'm reminding you, that means that I'm treating you like a kindergartner, that I have to follow up behind you to remind you about all your commitments. You're an adult. You can remember this. And if I even utter the word cancel, I am planting the seed in your mind. So I don't want to do any of those things. Okay. So we aren't going to use the word confirm. We're not going to use the word remind. I can call or communicate with the patient in advance. So let's say it's a couple of days before your appointment. You would say, Steve, your appointment's at 9:30 a.m. on Monday, June 1st. We'll see you then. And again, respond Y for yes. By the way, in your practice communication software system, you have the ability to user define responses. You're not stuck with the default C for confirm. You can customize all of this. So in most communication softwares, there's like 50 different user defined responses you can choose from. So customize your messages and make sure that it's doing the job. But rarely have I seen the default messaging that comes out in those programs as being ones that I would want to use. So this is a statement of fact. And then if I want a response, I'm just asking for a Y for yes, so that I know that they received the message. It's on their radar. Okay, little things make a big difference.
Yep.
Hack number 8, patient commitment. 2 most powerful words for patient commitment and compliance. All right, so this is one of my favorite things. Big backstory on this one, amazing research, but here's the bottom line. Every time I schedule an appointment, I'm going to ask for the patient's commitment. So, Lindsay, if I were scheduling you for your next appointment, I'd say, all right, Lindsay, quick review. We've got you down for your next appointment, September 3rd at 9 a.m. for your very, very important hygiene visit. This is one of the most important health maintenance activities in which you can engage. You know that. So we'll be here. Will you be here?
Yes, I'll be there.
There you go. Will you? Those are the 2 of the most powerful words. In other words, I'm going to ask Lindsay for her commitment in just a friendly way, but will you be here? So whether it's the next restorative appointment, the next hygiene appointment, will you be here? Will you be here? Just nice and friendly, but I'm going to get a commitment, because that getting a commitment has an impact on behavior. Again, all of these are small ingredients that end up with a big result. So that's when I'm scheduling the appointment. Will you be here? That's the question. Okay, so prevention number 9, financial flu. This is to separate the payment from the date of service. So the bigger the case. So Lindsay, at what dollar amount would you recommend separating payment from the day of service?
I would say our best practices, total treatment investment, anything over 500 usually is the.
Yep. So you
cut off.
can consider, depending on what you're doing now, we
Mm-hmm.
recommend that if it's a significant appointment, dollar wise, you go ahead and collect a portion of that the day they schedule,
Mm-hmm.
reservation fee, the
Mm-hmm.
balance due the Monday of the week that they're going to come in. That way, if Lindsay, if you were the patient, I would say that way, Lindsay, when you come in, day of treatment, all you have to worry about is getting here. Everything else is taken care of. Fair enough?
Perfect. Fair enough.
Very matter of fact. Uh, we have several practices across the country that we work with at Total Patient Service that have the lowest cancellation rates of any practices in the country. The common denominator is they pre-collect.
Yep.
In other words, they're in one particular case, they started doing this during COVID to minimize contact, and they never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So they just, for even hygiene appointments, they pre-collect hygiene appointments as paid in advance. And I know you're saying, but what about this? What about a lot of detail here, obviously, to work through, but that principle, separating payment from the data service, is what makes the biggest difference. So that you don't have the I'm sick because I got to pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's the high level principle. The more you can separate payment from the data service, the lower the cancellation rate.
Yep.
Hack number 10, peace of mind. This has a big impact, especially in hygiene. So this is the first of its kind nationwide peace of mind protection that goes on every restorative treatment. So basically, it gives the patient the peace of mind that they have a formal agreement that gives them peace of mind protection on all their restorative treatment up to 6 years. So 6 years, no fault. If anything happens to that crown or veneer or partial or bridge, that it has to be repaired or replaced, it is repaired or replaced up to the full fee that they paid. So basically, they get it repaired or replaced at no cost to them, and the practice gets paid to do that repair or replacement. Now, here's where it fits with cancellations and no-shows, is that with that, they have then the responsibility to stay up to date on their regular hygiene visits. So if somebody's trying to cancel a no-show, I would say, so Lindsay, let's work together here because I want to make sure that we keep your peace of mind protection in place so that all the restorative work you've had done, you continue with that peace of mind protection, right? They have to stay up to date with it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a resource that you're welcome to scan this QR code. The team at Dental Warranty, again, this is the first of its kind in the country. The team at Dental Warranty will walk you through a demo to show you how it works, how you set it up in your practice, and how it can significantly impact cancellations and no-shows, as well as just your overall patient satisfaction. So it's a great program, nationwide coverage, so that no matter where the patient goes, they're covered.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to wrap up with what happens in the heat of the moment. We've talked about all the things you can do to prevent cancellations. Let's talk about what do you do in the heat of the moment. All right, Stuart, our last poll. Ready?
All right,
Which
ready.
day of the week? Yes. Which day of the week is the most dreaded cancellation day in the dental office? Which day of the week? Sunday night, Monday morning, last day of the week, or every day? Which day of the week do you dread the most?
All right, we're doing good. 50% are in. Steve, you've got a new question from Lisa if you want to check the questions just in
Can you
case.
read it to me?
So we want to know 48 hours before the appointment if the patient can't. Oh, hold on. Okay, so we can't make it, so we can fill the time. What should we put on our text message if we do text Y for yes to the appointment? Nothing else? Leave it up to them to let us know, etc.
Yeah, so the overall message that we're trying to communicate to the patient is when we schedule, in our practice, when you schedule, we're all going to work together to do everything we can to keep that appointment as originally scheduled, right? So any messaging contrary to that, you got to be careful about, because then you may be communicating, hey, anytime before 48 hours, just let us know. That can cause some scheduling issues, unless that's how you've decided to do it in your practice. So again, so much of this, you've got to decide in your practice what you want to do and what you're willing to, I'm not going to say what you're willing to put up with, but what kind of behavior you're willing to accept and what you're not, and then everything should reinforce around that.
Yeah.
Poll results are
Poll results: Sunday night 7%, Monday morning 23%, last day of the work week 10%, every day 60%.
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great
Wow.
group.
Okay. All right. So statistically, what we know is Monday can be more challenging, because all weekend long, when patients know you're not in the office, they're canceling their Monday morning appointments. So typically, Mondays can be the most challenging. So I'm going to challenge you, whether it's Monday or every day, to re-look at your after hours message. Now, I'll say this footnote: there's a lot of AI assistant work going on in this area right now. We're testing all of them, right? Everyone that is coming out, we're looking at them, seeing, the AI after hours attendant, to see how that's working. And I guarantee you, at this point, there's not an AI assistant that's handling after hours cancellations appropriately. Not yet. So here's it's coming, but haven't seen it yet. So here's your after hours suggested verbiage. Thanks for calling. If you have a dental emergency, call 911, blah, blah, blah. If you're calling after hours and like to reserve an appointment, please leave your name and phone number. We'll call you back as soon as we return. If you have a conflict with your scheduled appointment, please call this number. Our voicemail system is not monitored for scheduling changes. Thank you for calling. So whatever. Now, I will tell you, there are some practices that do this. If you have a conflict with your scheduled appointment, please call the doctor at 777. Whatever your after, right? So a lot of offices have like a roving cell phone for after hours stuff, where they're managing the schedule. So there's a lot you can work on here. But the point is, don't train your patients so that they know it's easy to cancel their appointment, right? So again, the whole message needs to be, when we do this, it's a commitment. We're all going to work to try and keep it on track. So re-look at what your after hours message says, because many times it's an invitation to cancel. If they call during the day, this is what you're not going to do. So Lindsay, you be the patient. You call with your hugely apologetic cancellation, please.
Yeah. Steve, I'm so sorry. I had an appointment at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm just not going to be able to make it. I'm sorry. I thought I could make it, but I can't.
And because she says sorry, our natural reaction is to say, "Oh, that's okay."
Okay.
It's not okay. So here's the
Not
reason.
okay.
We're going to respond, and this is what I'm going to respond with this. After she says all that, I'm going to say, "Oh." Then I'm going to say, "Lindsay, if you'll hold for just a moment, I'm going to pull up your record. I'll be right back." Now, take a break, go get a snack, run to 7-Eleven. Okay. Pull up their charts. I'm joking. Pull up their chart, and then you say, "All right, so Lindsay, I've got your chart in front of me. You're scheduled this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Not you were. It's like you're scheduled this afternoon at 3 o'clock for the crown prep work on those 3 teeth. And I know you wanted to get this done before your high school reunion that's coming up. I know how important this is to you. You're really important to us. What can we do to keep this appointment as originally scheduled?" Just ask.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do to keep this appointment as originally scheduled? And she may, she said, "Well, if it's that important, I'll do it." Or she may say, "You know what, it's job. My boss called a meeting. I got to be there. It's my job," right? So I would say this. I'd say, all right, so Lindsay, let me see what we can do to reschedule this. Which day of the week and time of the day, Monday through Thursday, do you have the most control over, where you have the least likelihood of any kind of an interruption in your schedule, so we can prevent this from happening again, right? In other words, again, the message is firm and friendly, but it's like, yeah, let's do this so we can keep this on track. Now, if she won't reschedule, I'll just let you know. I'll call you back later. She's not rescheduled. She's canceling the treatment.
Yep.
So what are you going to do in that case? Again, team discussion. We have a lot of teams. This is how they do it. Say, Lindsay, I know how important this is to you. You're really important to us. And I know that Dr. Jones will really want to talk to you if you'll just hold for just a moment. Now, you may not choose to do that. You may. But again, this is about having a system in place so that you know how you deal with all of this. There's some doctors that love to do this. I was just in Dr. Stephen Kest's office 2 weeks ago. He's in Southbury, Connecticut, pediatric dentist. He loves talking to his patients. He loves getting on the phone when there's an issue like this. In fact, during lunch, his team goes to lunch and he answers the phone during lunch. He schedules new patients during lunch. Now, I know every doctor's not like that, but you got to decide how you're going to do this in your office. Frequent offenders. Lindsay, let's wrap up with this. Frequent offenders, I get asked questions all the time. Is like, how many times do they have to cancel or no-show before we dismiss them from the practice? I don't know why anybody would dismiss a patient from the practice unless they were abusive or just are trying to do something dishonest, like not pay you for treatment that you legally did and they're obligated to pay. But if it's a scheduling issue, here's what I would suggest. Lindsay, if you'd canceled for like 5 times, I'd say, Lindsay, listen, for some reason we haven't been able to make this work like we need to. In fact, I just realized we have tried to do this 5 times. So
Wow.
I know you're really, really busy. I would ask, what would you suggest we do to get this back on track? Or I might say this, Lindsay, could I make this suggestion?
Sure.
Occasionally, we have appointment times that come available at the last minute, same day, maybe next day. How would this work for you if I put you on my same day or next day list and I call you or text you when we have an appointment time available to check and see if that would work on short notice for you to come in? Would that work better?
That would be awesome.
Okay. For a lot of people, it works a lot better. People with hectic schedules, they might be organizationally challenged. Maybe they have short-term memory problems. Who knows? Okay. I'm not a big fan of dismissing them because of that. Just work with them in a different way. Finally, illness. They're calling to cancel because they're reschedule them now. Don't try and chase them down later. Lindsay, while you're on the phone and it's convenient, let's go ahead and get your your schedule today, tomorrow, and 2 weeks out. Okay, go 2 weeks out, schedule that appointment. Okay. Yep. We covered a lot of ground. Here's your resource. If you'd like a summary of what we've talked about today so you can share this with your team, this is what we call Stop Cancellations Hack Sheet. It's got a lot of the core content that we've talked about today. You can scan that QR code and we'll send you the download of that along with information from our team at Total Patient Service on resources you can tap into to hear yes more often from your patients, like to the scheduled appointment and coming back and not canceling. Everything from the work that Lindsay does in offices along with the rest of our coaching team. They actually work hand in hand with teams in their office. We have a whole virtual coaching service where you work live online as well as our live seminars. There's a lot to learn about. Lindsay, as you know, I always say there's as much to learning about how to hear yes more often from their patients as there is clinical dentistry. So absolutely. You're welcome to scan that. That'll download the hack sheet as well as information on all the other things you can do to hear yes more often from your patients. Excellent. Lindsay, thank you for your help today. And thanks everybody for joining us today. As mentioned, your CE for today will be emailed out to you, as well as this webinar is recorded. If you want to share it with your team, in that email will come to a link. And we'll be doing this again live tomorrow as well on Crown Council Live. So if you'd like your team to participate live tomorrow, they're welcome to do that as well. Stuart, thank you for being our host.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Lindsay.
Have a super day, and good luck as you work to stop cancellations.